two interviews. One person won't stop apologizing, the other person won't stop accusing the other of doing something bad. Meanwhile, we get one of the worst emergency services calls you've ever heard in your life. And all of this ignores the fact that there's something going on. They were doing a major water recycling program under the city, and homeless people were going missing, and then both stories stop at the same time. Why won't the government talk about it? And that's what we're diving into today with this classic found footage movie. This is one of those ones you never want to miss, and it has like this sort of staying power. This is a found footage movie that people rediscover every couple of years and go, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And with good reason. One of the best liminal spaces ever created before there was, a term for liminal spaces, really. And, I'm going to dive into all of it today and answer the main question, the big question, the only question that matters. Should you watch it? Because, some of you shouldn't, but it is definitely something a lot of you should. Before we get into that, hi, my name is CJ. I am your movie god for the Found Footage broadcast. And if you've already subscribed, then you're already a member of the Cult of the Movie God. So welcome, my fellow Found Footage fanatics. Hit the button below, you know the one. Roll the intro, here we go. We're doing The Tunnel 2011. This is one that I've been meaning to get into for a while, but here's the thing. My list of must-see found footage movies, the ones that you just can't miss, it's like 93 movies long. I'm not even kidding. So I gotta pare it down and make a kind of a top 5 list for you soon. But let's get into The Tunnel 2011. And, as usual, before I get into my own personal take on it, let's read the official IMDb description, which, as usual, I forgot to bring up before recording. All right, here we go. An investigation into a government cover-up leads to a network of abandoned train tunnels deep beneath the heart of Sydney. As a journalist and her crew hunt for the story, it quickly becomes clear the story is hunting for them. There you go. That's how you write a description. The Tunnel, great title, good description. This is the packaging for your movie. Indie filmmakers, take note. All right. I'm going to stop being pedantic here and just get into it. So this is half interviews with a reporter and a cameraman, and half found footage of the fateful investigation. So we're going to get into it. But the thing about this is already right away, it's established something went horribly, horribly wrong. And the crew of 4 of them, only 2 are being interviewed. That probably tells you how bad things went. But of course, we start with one of the worst emergency calls you will ever hear in your entire life. Help, we need help. Won't someone help us? Sure, where are you? Help us! Ah! And then she accidentally hangs up and doesn't call back. Okay. Anyway, let's really dive into the meat and potatoes of what's happening in this movie. So we have reporter and cameraman. Overall, the feeling is this. Cameraman thinks this is all her fault. This is terrible. She should have known better. Also, she's been sleeping with the boss. Also, she doesn't know what she's doing. Also, she's a terrible person and her breath stinks and smells bad. He just goes on. He doesn't like the reporter, is what I'm trying to say. Was that entertaining for you? Or would you rather go into some tunnels and see a cool monster? I know I would like to see a monster, please. Okay, well, here's the reporter. Yeah, this was kind of all my fault, but I really thought that this was an important story. It was really important because government officials were not talking to us, and I followed up and they wouldn't discuss it with us. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Can I have a monster now, please? Please, can I have my tunnels and my monster? Can we? So it's announced by the government that they're going to start a water recycling program with a bunch of water that's trapped in tunnels underneath the city. It's just been sitting there. And so they're like, okay, yeah, great, let's recycle this water. But also, there's a separate story, unrelated, of homeless people disappearing. And that's been going on for a while, and then in both stories stop being reported on. Not only that, but when follow-up calls are made by our reporter here, nobody's picking up her calls. Sometimes people she knows absolutely stonewall her. They will not talk to her at all. This is weird. So she goes to her boss and says, hey, man, we need to follow up on this. And there's some office drama around pulling people away from a project they were working on to go and work on her project. Do you care? No, I sure don't. So let's move on. So they go down into the tunnels to ring the bell. I'm not going to talk about the bell yet. We'll get to it. It's a big deal. It's just a bell? No, it's not just a bell. We'll talk about that. And so they go to stations and they start looking around, but they can't get permission to go into the tunnels. So she just decides, oh, we'll just get the story anyway. We'll just sneak it out. So they go down there and a security guard catches them right away, tries to kick them out, and they just find another way and they sneak down there. And she lies to the rest of her crew that the boss has them covered. So yeah, okay, she didn't get permission to go down there, but if anything goes wrong, the boss has them covered because the boss knows. He approved. It's fine. This is in fact not true. And so for whatever reason, because she didn't get permission from the government and because she didn't get permission from her boss to do all these things, or at least because her boss didn't know, that's why people die in this movie. If she had that paperwork, not her fault, but because she didn't, how dare she? Okay, look, but between you and me, all right, it is her fault that people died, but not because of this, okay? There's other reasons unrelated as to why people died. That is absolutely her fault. It's unquestionable, and nobody calls her out on it. That, again, makes me nuts. But can we please get a spooky environment and a monster in the house, okay? Let's get there. So they finally break into the tunnels, and finally, oh my God, greatest set you have ever seen. Even the lit part, even the part before they get into the dark tunnels, it looks so goddamn cool. Just everything looks amazing. And we got every kind of tunnel you can imagine. We got lit tunnels, we got dark tunnels, we got semi-lit tunnels. Oh yeah, we got big tunnels, we got small tunnels, brick tunnels, concrete tunnels, tunnels carved from stone. We even got tunnels with lakes in them. Ladies and gentlemen, a lake tunnel. A lake tunnel where something is hiding in the dark. It's pretty damn cool. I didn't need a monster, I gotta be honest. Just them wandering around in the dark with like batteries that are running low, I'd have been good. Because this was just creepy all on its own. And they see all these neat projects over the years that happened down in those tunnels. They were used as bomb shelters, then they were used as soldier training grounds at one point. So there's all these layers of history and all these amazing, cool, like disused rooms. It's great. If you like rundown spaces, this is going to scratch that itch right away. So satisfying. And then they find the bell. The bell is this big rusty thing that is meant to sound the alarm like an air raid siren, except instead of a siren, they just hit this thing. So everybody gathers around and they hit the bell with just a random stick they found. Makes this noise, man. This noise that just rattles your bones. And you can tell it clearly carries through every tunnel down there. They must hear this for miles. I'm sure there's no consequences to doing that. I mean, why would you even worry about doing that? Homeless people have been going missing and they find evidence of that. Oh, look, some homeless people used to live here and they're gone now. And before they go down in the tunnels, they interview a homeless man who has hinted before the interview that he used to live down there with some friends, but when they ask him about it, he just has a meltdown. So there's something down there. And we just rang the dinner bell. But you know what? The recording, the levels peaked. You know, can we try it again? You know, okay, so hit it again. So we hit it a second time. Nothing. You know what? The recording's not good. So the sound guy says, you know what? I'm just going to go down the tunnel. So I'm just going to walk down this dark tunnel by myself with the mic. And when I call, you go ahead and ring it again. You know what? Why don't you listen to it on the headphones while I'm down the hall with the microphone, just to make sure it sounds good. So the guy goes down the hall. They hit the gong one last time. Boom. The guy listening to the headphones is like, What the hell was that? So they go down the hall looking for their sound guy, and he's gone. Now, maybe he's joking. They've played jokes before, right? But man, we're horror movie fans. We know better. You can't be joking. Not this time. They go looking for him. And, well, they find parts of him. Now, they think they might be able to find old Tangles. That's his name, by the way, Tangles. And the reason I remember his name as opposed to anybody else's in the entire movie is because, boy, did they yell it a lot. Tangles! Tangles! It's like in your ear constantly. It's more than that gong. As they run around the tunnels, making as much noise as they can, not occurring to them that maybe noise isn't such a great idea. And after hunting for him for a long time and finding ghastly signs of him having maybe not made it, they discover that they themselves are being stalked. One of them had put a camera down for a minute, and then when they find the camera, it's not where they put it down. And when they review the footage on that camera, somebody picked it up and filmed them up close in the dark, and they didn't even hear it. Freaking chills, man. It was so good. It was so good. Anyway, they start to panic because they realize it's time to leave. They need to get help. They need to find professionals who can come down here with a ton of flashlights and maybe weaponry and find their friend and figure out who's stalking them, you know? And so on their way out, they run into the security guard that kicked them out before, and he's like, he looks worried. He's like, you guys shouldn't be down here. And the security guard gets snatched. It is such a good shot. It is such a good shot. Now, I won't show it here because you got to see it for yourself in context. It's so good. And they eventually track him down in the lake, in the tunnels, the underground lake. And this is where we first get our dimmest glimpse of the thing that's stalking them. And it's so chilling. In fact, for the rest of the movie, we barely can see this thing at all. If you go around YouTube, you'll find people who like did enhanced whatever and got you a clear view. But honestly, it's just this like shape in the dark, and it's better that way. It's so much better. Your imagination is on fire. It's working overtime, trying to understand what is this thing that's coming after us. So they're in the lake and they're watching this shape out there, and they know that that's what it's got to be, and they're all being as quiet as possible, just because they realize that this thing has been walking around in the dark, so it's clearly using its ears to find them. And as it's turning and starting to leave, our reporter decides this is the moment where she has to let out a yelp. They've been watching it for like a minute. I don't know why now she has to go, ah! The hell was that? So of course it chases them, and now we've got a problem. Now we've got this thing chasing them. They go through the tunnels. There's some hijinks I won't spoil, and eventually they kind of get away from it. And so what's the first thing they do? I think we got away from it. Yeah, it doesn't know where we are. And then, the reporter finds a drain somewhere, and she starts screaming as loud as she can, louder than the bell. I'm sure that will have no consequences. Oh my God. So yeah, eventually, when they get out of the tunnels and they're laying there in the subway station, and the one guy has been injured and he's dying and he needs medical aid, and she borrows somebody's phone and absolutely refuses to tell the emergency operator where they are. Yeah, it's her fault. It's her fault that guy died, because she had to yell, because she had to scream through a vent, because she wouldn't tell the emergency operator where they were. However, that's not the conversation we're having. The conversation we're having is, she should have gone through proper channels. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is she should have gone through proper channels. And also, she wasn't very good at her job. And because she wasn't good at her job, none of this would have happened if we had a better reporter. Yeah, it was all my fault, but I really wanted the story. But going back, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have gone through proper channels. Yeah, proper channels. And also, it's professional ethics. It was my fault. It was all my fault. I feel so guilty. Yes. Yeah. Professional ethics. Journalistic integrity. Yes. Yeah. Also, there is a monster under the city. Can we discuss that? Can we never? No, we don't. They never talk about it. They say, oh gosh, what happened to him was terrible. They never say, holy shit, there's a monster under the city. Just, Jesus, you guys. Like, get your priorities straight. I don't care about your petty guilt. I do care that you kept yelling when you're trying to be sneaky. I do care that you refused to tell, like, look at the wall, see the name of the station, say it into the phone. What was the problem there? Okay, getting a little excited. But a decent chunk of the movie is in these interviews. But I will say 2/3 of it is in the tunnels. And everything in the tunnels is freaking fantastic. It's great. There's like one scene where someone takes the reporter to task. Well, I can't believe you did this. This is your fault. But it's quick and they move on. Is this who? Let me ask you. Who is this for? All this like guilt about journalistic integrity. Who is this for? Are you that audience? Are you that like, oh yeah, I didn't want to see a movie about a monster in some tunnels. I wanted to discuss journalistic integrity. That's why this movie is good. Anyway, it's time. It's time we address the main question, the big question, the only question that matters. Should you watch it? So, I mean, yeah, if you like claustrophobic spaces, if you like dark tunnels, if you like liminal spaces, this has got it all. This is the ultimate scary, spooky space. If you watched As Above, So Below and you thought that those tunnels look pretty cool, it's got nothing on the tunnel. These tunnels are freaking, it's astounding. They're astounding. Not just in their variety, but in just their ominous presence and the darkness. They use darkness really effectively here. As Above, So Below, they just had to evenly light everything, and there was something almost friendly about them. Also, if you ever saw the Paris catacombs found footage, just that short where the guy doesn't even say anything and you just see him walk around the catacombs forever and then panic and drop his camera. And if that left a mark on you, you have to see the tunnel 2011. This is that plus 100. It's so good. And the acting overall, pretty darn good. Interviews are annoying, but apart from that, pretty darn good. However, if you do want to have that discussion, proper channels, like if you want to do that, they've got that here for you as well. However, for people who shouldn't watch it, if you have claustrophobia, don't see it. If you're sensitive to gore, don't see it. There's some gore, and it's good, and it's... See, the thing that makes gore good is, does it have an emotional effect on you? This scares you. It's gore that scares you. It's got a purpose. It communicates. When you see it, it's like, oh, I know what that means. Oh, I know what that implies. Oh, they've got to get out of here. It's perfect. But if you don't like seeing organs that should be in a person's body, but they aren't, don't see this. Again, claustrophobia, terrible movie for you. You're afraid of the dark, don't see it. And if you find mockumentaries that just prattle on and on about personal responsibility and for some reason forget that there's a monster under the city, oh, then don't see it then either. Having said that, this is my third time seeing it. I liked it more this time than the first two times. I got hung up on a lot of the mockumentary nonsense. It kind of bothered me the first time, but I ended up rewatching it for the Film a Day series and liked it a lot more then. This third time, all that interview stuff washed over me. I complained about it because it's fun to complain about, but realistically, this third time, I think I liked it the most. However, you can't go by the way I watch movies. I watch too many. so there it is. Next up, we have a double feature coming up. So there was this great movie that came out last year called Distort. And it was so good due to popular demand, well, underground popular demand. Distort 2 came out. So I'm going to do a double feature next time with both Distort 1 and Distort 2 in the same video. And we'll compare them. Distort 2 just came out as well on Found TV. So this is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to seeing it because I loved that first one, Distort. And then after that, viewer suggestion. Somebody suggested, what is it called? The Decedent. And I noticed I was on the fence, but it was, first of all, a user suggestion, which matters a lot. And also, there's an actor in The Decedent who just appears in some indie stuff and I think is really underrated. So I'm actually looking forward to talking about his performance and really digging into that. So that's all coming up next on the channel. However, been doing this for a while. So if you enjoyed this video, check out the channel. Lots more just waiting for you to dig into and binge. And I'm going to put a couple of suggestions on screen in just a moment. All right, my fellow found footage fanatics, thank you for being on this journey with me. I will see you next time.